not plastic.
No.
All right. So all you can do as a real estate agent, you get all the results, and then at some point it feels like you can't go any further and you look for help. Well, we're going to be going over an agent's first hire today. So stay tuned. Oh, all right. Welcome to RealtyHack, where we look at the practices that top producing agents and teams employ to get better results. My name is Ryan Rudenbeck, and today we're going to be talking about an agent's first hire and then some subsequent hires, and how you can transition your business for the next move, right? As always, if you're watching this video on Facebook and you found it helpful, type the word agent in the comments below, and our chat bot will kick in, and you'll be subscribed to future broadcasts. You can see some of our past episodes. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. And if you have any topics you'd like us to cover in the future, please put them in the comment section below. Okay. I'm bringing in Anthony Malfonte in Tampa with my Tampa agent, and I've known Anthony for going on 5 years. We've been in the same community together, and he's just one of my favorite people. He runs a top producing team in Tampa, Florida. One of the most insightful people that I know. How are you today, Anthony?
I'm great, Ryan. Thank you for having us, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I thought about this and having you on is for a couple reasons. Is like, you have a well-known team. You're within a brokerage, but you brand yourself with your team, right? And it's kind of the transition that I'm trying to encourage some of my agents to do. I don't want to ever get to a point where agents are, kind of graduate from Spyglass Realty, where they can kind of do stuff in here. And I've gotten a couple of comments from our past videos. We asked people to if they have any topics. And so one of the topics that was requested was an agent's first hire. And you and I talked a little bit about this offline. We've both made some great successes and some even bigger failures. So that's part of the deal, right?
Got to learn from your mistakes, man.
That's right. So, okay, tell me about your journey in the hiring process, and what was it that you did right? What was it you did wrong, and what would you do over again?
It all comes down to the layering of time, accountability, and how much time you actually have to do things. Our business is very time related, right? At the time I was an independent agent. It takes time to show houses. It takes time to list houses. You have to be there for inspections. You got to be there when the photos are getting taken. So there's only so much time in the day if you still want to have a life. Hindsight being 2020, I brought on 2 buyer's agents thinking that was the way to go. And while it worked, we had a good lead generation system, but we were basically 3 independent agents all working from the same lead generation system. And as we got more deals, as we became more successful and converted more, we were all in the same position where we could not grow our businesses because we had all these other things that had to happen time-wise, right? Hindsight being 2020, I should have hired an office manager, an assistant first. We hired that person when there was the 3 of us. She's our operations manager. She took over a lot of those tasks that needed to happen, right?
Yeah.
Paperwork needed to be handled the right way. Contract to closing stuff needed to happen. Photographs needed to be scheduled. And it lightened the load for the 3 of us to go out there and talk to people and convert business and show people houses and list houses. So that was really important. We did it a little backwards.
I did too.
And since then, we have grown because our operations manager, Sarah, who's a godsend. I mean, I didn't know who I was looking for, but we found her.
Yeah.
And she has morphed into a role that has allowed us to add a transaction coordinator, a client care coordinator, so that everyone's got their role, everyone's got their piece, and it makes a lot more sense for us doing it the way we're doing it now than the way we were trying to do it before.
Yeah, and so kind of by the same train of thought, I did the same thing a little bit. Our company's been around for 11 years, and the first 5 years of doing business, like I had, I don't know, 4 or 5 agents that I don't even know how they stayed with me, because they were just, I was like, all right, I'm a broker. You want to be on my brokerage, you can be on there, and just didn't provide anything. And then when I decided that I really wanted to start doing, when I started getting really busy, I started out with a transaction coordinator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that's independent contractor. There's companies that do this, and that's what we did, right? We paid, I think at the time it's like $275. Now it's like almost $400, right? And that was a huge help. But I still found myself, running like crazy. I ended up hiring a full-time assistant 7 years ago, and her name was Sunny Tracy, as you know.
She's awesome.
Yeah. She did not have a real estate license. She had a very little experience in a new home building. And then, kind of the pathway I set forward for people for this conversation is to start with a transaction coordinating, company, which we now provide to our agents. We've got someone on staff that we do at a major discount. And then when it comes time to make that next level, the first person you should hire, in my opinion, is an assistant, right?
No question.
Yeah. And
question.
That's where you're at now. Is that right?
We are. I do a lot of mentoring, a lot of training. I just got off the phone with one of the associates on our team who is working on a deal, and he's got some inspection things that need to happen. We had a nice conversation. Would I like to turn that over to an assistant at some point in time so that he can have that conversation with that person, whoever it is, and then turn it over to the transaction coordinator? Absolutely. It'd be perfect, right? It goes back to how much time you have. Right?
Yeah.
You have to find the right people to do the right jobs. It all needs to meld together in a way that makes sense for people, because then you're really bringing value.
Yeah. And I think that the biggest mistake people make is getting a buyer's agent first before you have the admin, right? And all this stuff costs money. But like, here's my thought about it: is if you're paying, anywhere $300 or $400 for transaction management, and then you start to get busy, and when you hire that first assistant, then that assistant can take all the roles of that transaction coordination, plus help you with other stuff if they're full time. And then you offload, you incur the cost of the assistant, but you offload the cost of the $400 transaction management fee. So
you're less busy when you have more time to do things.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it, right? I mean, it's all related one to the next. And our job is we're not making pens, right?
Yeah.
I'm not making, Yeti cups. We actually have to talk to people. We have to give them guidance. We have to help them through the process of listing their home, finding their home, and then getting from contract to closing. And I'd love to have our title company have it a seamless process, but they're all different.
Yeah.
What property has a title issue? What property doesn't? Yeah. I don't want the people on my team not to understand those concepts.
Yeah.
They need to understand them. I don't want them to just hand the file over to the transaction coordinator and say, well, you handle it.
Yeah.
That experience is valuable for them as they give people guidance as to how they're going to buy or sell. But there's only so much time in the day. It comes back to that all the time. What's your time worth, right?
Yeah.
Finding the right people, having the right culture, knowing that my operations manager, who's a licensed person, I mean, she's doing 3 deals this month as a licensed agent. There's no one I know that's better at cultivating that tenant into a buyer than our operations manager, right? Yeah. And, she's got 2 young kids. When her kids are a little bit older, she's going to be one great real estate. She already is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that because you're right here. I'm saying that because it's true. But the reality is it all works, right? I'm going away for 4 days starting tomorrow. The fact that we have these people in place waiting for things to come is going to help everybody manage their time better when I'm gone for 4 days.
Yeah, absolutely. And what happened with my journey was that, like, I hired Sunny as an assistant 7 years ago, right? And now she's practically running the company with me, not practically, she is. And I think that's really powerful if you can get the right people and then they kind of merge into a different role. So what I think you'll see happen as a team leader or you've got a team is to be two people, right? But like, you have that assistant, they're taking up some of the contract to close, right? Well, there's going to be a point, like we did like a few years ago, we did like 69 deals. It was horrible, right? It was just way too busy. And then if your assistant is so busy, then you can also go back and say, okay, let's get the contract to close on these deals. And then you graduate into the having a full-time contract to close person if that's what you need. Right. What I'm talking to one of my agents about right now is she's done this. She does everything the right way. She's gotten to the point where she's got a full-time assistant that works strictly for her. And she's got like 12 buyer reps signed right now. And I'm trying to get her into to hire a buyer's agent just for her. I think once you get to the other point first, where your problem isn't admin, your problem is you've got too much buyers and not enough time. That's when it comes to where, okay, I'm going to hire a buyer's agent that I am going to use to help my buyers. Do you have that?
We do. The people on our team can both list and work with buyers.
Yeah.
As you know, we're part of a couple of networks where I'm lucky to live in Tampa. We are lucky to live in Tampa. There's more people moving here than moving out. So we get a fair number of referrals from folks that we know.
Yeah, we do too.
A friend, I got a brother, I got a cousin, my best man is moving to Tampa.
Yeah.
And I can comfortably hand that referral off to someone who I know is full-time, who has Sarah and our client care coordinator and our transaction coordinator as help.
Yeah.
That referral is going to get 100% great attention. I can do that very comfortably. I'm going to process this closing today. This is a referral that's exactly that.
Yeah.
Right?
So let's talk about that for a second, because I get a lot of questions about that from people, like, how do you do that handoff of a referral from another agent? And when like I probably get, I don't know, 10 or 12 a year, right?
Okay. Yeah, we get 2 or 3 a month.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Here's what I figured out. I don't know what the inventory is where you are, but where we are, has been abysmally low for a long time.
Here too.
So if I'm talking to a buyer and I say that, we have a conversation, are you qualified? Have you had a conversation with a lender? What areas are you looking in? Help me understand the house that you're looking for. The one thing I know for certain, whatever they describe, right, a $2.5 million house on the Gulf or a $125,000 starter condo.
Yeah.
The one thing I know for sure, because inventory is so low, that the house that you just described to me you're not the only person looking for it.
Yeah.
There's probably 50 people looking for it or more, right? We sell our service. We sell our service model as, when you get one of us, you get all of us.
We do too.
So if I'm going to the dentist and the perfect house comes on the market and I can't show it to you because I'm at the dentist, someone on our team is going to be able to step in and show you that property.
Yeah.
And that makes buyers feel really, really comfortable about it's setting a reasonable expectation, number one.
Yeah.
It makes them feel real comfortable about what it is that they're going to get from the My Tampa agent team.
Yeah. And so we do the same thing in the sense that, like, okay, because if someone refers Ryan from, another team, they don't want the first point of contact to be one of Ryan's agents.
No,
right?
absolutely not. I talk to everybody up front.
Yeah, I do too. And I frame it as, okay, look, where are you looking in Round Rock? Guess what? I'm not the expert in Round Rock. I've got an expert in Round Rock. Right. I even set them up on a search sometimes, right?
We do the same thing.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll get on a group text, and then I never quite disappear. But what I find out happening, the person who I'm going to refer this person to, and the other reason I'm doing this is because I don't want the person who's referring it to look bad either.
Sure, of course not.
Yeah,
that's a direct reflection on everybody involved in the process.
Absolutely. So what we end up having happen is I connect to the agent that the area they're looking in. I tell them that I'm there for the whole time, which I am. But 9 times out of 10, once they're engaging with that agent and that agent showing how good they are and knowledgeable of that area, my work is very minimal. Sure. After the first couple of contacts. And that's not always the case. Sometimes people, want to talk to me about stuff, and I'm more than happy to.
And again, we just this deal, okay? Young couple referred to us by a friend of ours. He's a military guy. He's flying planes over in Afghanistan. His wife, young lady, they closed today. One of our buyer specialists, Simone, took the lead on this particular thing, but she was gone for a weekend. 2 houses came on the market on a Saturday, right before the husband was leaving.
Yeah.
She made a phone call. I'm happy to go out and show these kids these 2 houses, right?
Sure.
And that made them feel really comfortable, right? They love Simone. She's hard not to love, but they also knew that, there's 2 people. There's a client care coordinator who was communicating to them, was communicating to the person who referred to us through our client relation management program. So they were kept in the loop the whole time. Mm-hmm. Everybody was on board, and the expectations were pretty simple. We're going to find you the house, and we're going to get you in it. Right.
Yeah.
And it's, I sometimes, I look at teams that are way bigger than ours, mm-hmm. and I know that there's a certain place that I can't go without the right people.
Right.
I can have probably all the business that we want, but how well can I take care of it? How well can my team take care of it? Right. As we find the right people to fill the seats on the bus, if you will.
Yeah.
They will meld into what it is that, the culture of what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
You get one of us, you get all of us. Right.
Yeah.
And again, as I said before, I'm going away for 4 days, and I'm 100% confident that anything that needs to get done is going to happen, and I'm probably not even going to have to be involved. I'm not even going to be called. It's just going to happen, right? Because I do it for them, they do it for me. Sarah can step in. Alexis, our client care coordinator, has got our client relation management program figured out.
Yeah,
and we can communicate things with people. So we're going to make sure that happens. That makes for happy clients.
Yeah,
and this process, the way we did it originally, going back to your original question, having 2 buyers agents and me, right?
Yeah.
I compounded the problem by 3.
Mm-hmm.
I really did.
Yeah.
Sarah took the problem and made it, she divided it by 3 as opposed to multiplied it by 3. And that was a huge thing for us. It was a big eye opener, to be honest. Because I know you, but you're a control freak, so am I.
Yeah.
Right. I want to be involved in everything. Well, if I'm involved in everything, I got no time to do anything.
Yeah. Well, let's recap. We're almost at the end of our time here, but okay, so here's the Anthony and Ryan kind of method for a single agent that's elevating their career step by step. Step 1. Higher CTC, per transaction, right?
Absolutely.
Going rates $300 to $400. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2, when you get enough business where that is starting to cost money, but you also have other stuff you want done, you eliminate that by hiring a full-time assistant who is going to do that stuff plus some of the other stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Step 3 is, and by the way, when you're on step 2 with the assistant, if that assistant starts to get busy, and that's a good thing, then you can also hire CTC as needed, right? And then step 3, I think we're on step 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Is then you get the buyer's agent, right? You know, and what happens with Anthony and I is that first level assistant turned into office manager, and that's like the golden thing right there. Like, you know,
she's indispensable.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it, right?
Yeah.
And again, she's learning enough about the business that she's going on a 500 and maybe 600, 585 listing appointment today.
Yeah. Sonny does a lot of my listings now, you know.
Right. And she's going to nail it. We're going to get that listing. Her client, our client, is going to be happy. And watching that progression, that confidence, right?
Yeah.
It's huge for all of us.
Yeah.
Right? Once you figure it out, you don't have to figure it out again. It's figuring it out the first time that matters.
Well, okay. Thank you so much, Anthony, for being on our broadcast. You're an invaluable resource for me and a good friend as well. If any of your agents are watching this in Austin, this goes out to a lot of people in Austin, and you need a referral for Tampa, this is the guy to talk to. We're going to put his information below. If you're watching this, and one thing I don't do a good enough job is like we're putting major content on Instagram when it's at RealtyHack, Instagram.com/@RealtyHack. You got that? Kelly's going to put it in below. If you are watching this video and you want to be subscribed to future videos, Kelly and I are we're in the conversion lab every day. Like we've got some really cool stuff that we're doing. Type the word agent below. You get access to our previous videos. We did one on bots. We did one on 7 ways to add value in social media. Like these things are coming to us. We've got some really good stuff. We want to share that with you. Follow us on Instagram. And if you want future broadcasts, type the word agent below. Anthony, you've seen the bot. You know, I think you and my bot
are one of the things I'm going to figure out here very soon, brother, and I'll be calling you to figure it out.
I got you, man. All right, guys. Great show. See you.